Hello, everybody. It's me, Santa, back with another episode of Dear Santa, the podcast that's hosted by Santa Claus. And I love the opportunity to get to ask questions of our wonderful guests. So let me introduce somebody that probably doesn't need an introduction, but we'll do it anyway. Ellen Latzen. So Ellen is an actress and mother who actually lives in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. She got her start as Michael Douglas's daughter in Fatal Attraction, but is probably best known for her performance as Ruby Sue in the Christmas classic National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Ellen left acting as a teenager, but after a 30-year hiatus, she's decided to come full circle with her career, and lucky for us, she has re-entered the acting industry. She lives with her husband, their daughter, and their two dogs. And we are thrilled to have you. Ellen, I am happy to say you're in the nice book. That's what we've got right here. So
Thank you.
well done. I wouldn't expect anything else. But thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you, Santa?
Oh, so excited about the upcoming season and so excited to meet you and talk to you. I've got to ask, and I'm sure people ask all the time, what is it like now looking back and thinking, oh my goodness, I am in a Christmas classic? I mean, there's very few that kind of rank as Christmas classics, and
hmm
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation certainly is one of them. As you look back now, did you have any idea that was going to happen? And do you look back and think, oh my goodness, I see myself all the time. My daughter's going to see me on TV someday watching the
Yeah.
movie.
Well, first of all, I have to say that it's definitely an honor to have the movie in such high regard of you, Santa Claus.
Oh,
So
love the
thank you
movie.
very much.
Absolutely.
The pleasure is mine. But yeah, I mean, it's always been very humbling to take part in something that has become not only just a classic, but a tradition that is in so many people's homes. Like the feedback that I get from so many people is, we watch your movie every year, and we always watch it while we're trimming the tree, or right after Thanksgiving. And it really is amazing that this movie has touched literally millions of people and is something that is held so deeply in their hearts and in their families and their traditions. And it makes me just feel so wonderful to be a part of that.
That's great. That is so great. I mean,
Mhm.
it's well regarded at the North Pole. Elf Andrew, who is in charge of all our tech work, watches it every year with his family as they're decorating their house, and
Excellent.
it's fun, it's funny, it's touching. It's Clark Griswold just loves his family so much and wants so much for his family, and the interactions between you and he are just timeless and wonderful and classic. So
Well,
well
thank
done
you.
you, and we're excited for you to get back into acting. I think that's absolutely great. How
Yeah,
if you
thanks.
if you don't mind me asking, so how old were you when you filmed Christmas Vacation, and then did you act for much longer after that, or did you just say, you know what, that's enough for now? I'm good. I'm going to do something else for now.
So I got my start at about 6 years old in Fatal Attraction, and then I was just about nine, a couple months shy by the time we wrapped filming Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
That was the last real like major feature film that I did, but I continued doing TV and actually did some Broadway after that.
Oh wow,
Um,
wonderful.
and left acting at about 15 years old.
Okay.
I grew up in New York and was able to, the suburbs outside of New York City. And so I was able to audition every day after school. But then at around 15 years old, I went to boarding school in Vermont, and that sort of halted my ability to remain a working actor. So after that, after I graduated, I decided, you know what, I'm ready to kind of live a normal life. And that's what I did for, another 25, 27 years.
Good for you. Good for you for
Thank
making
you.
that decision for yourself. That is absolutely great, and I'm sure you've got just some wonderful memories of both acting and then after acting, and now we could talk at the end of this a little bit about what's next. But let's
Yeah,
let's get into the not that those things aren't important, but I
right.
want to hear about your Christmases, not Ruby Sue's. So, what is your first memory of Christmas that maybe you have, Ellen?
So I don't know what maybe my first memory is. But my family's memory of my early
Hmm.
Christmases, which I guess I might kind of
Sure.
remember a little bit. I was probably about my daughter's age. She's
Okay.
2.5,
Okay.
um, little less. I snuck downstairs in the middle of the night, probably about, I don't know, you'd already come, but it was probably about maybe like 3 or 4 in the morning,
Okay.
maybe like 4 or 5. I snuck downstairs and I opened all of the gifts.
Oh my goodness.
And my sister, who was probably about 6 and a half at the time, came down maybe an hour later and saw me in the pile of opened presents and wrapping paper and just went, Mom!
Oh my
She ran
goodness.
upstairs to my parents and was like, Ellen opened all the presents. And then, which of course my parents thought was hilarious.
I'm sure.
But so then, as my mom tells the story, the next year she had to show me what my name looked like,
Okay.
so that I would only, if that happened again, open the presents that had my name on it.
Okay. That is so great. What a neat memory story. Even if
Yeah,
you don't remember it exactly yourself, to have that story to pass on and tell is just absolutely wonderful. That is
pretty
just
classic.
so funny. So
Thank you.
once we got through that year and you got a little older, what was the routine? Christmas Eve, did your family have dinner? What did you do? Did you have anything special on Christmas Eve, or just kind of sit around, maybe watch some TV, and then go to bed and try to hope that you got to sleep before Santa got there?
Yeah, I mean, so my Christmases looked a little different.
Okay.
My parents broke up when I was around 3 or 4, and
Okay.
so Christmas Day was always really busy, but Christmas Eve was always spent at my house at my mom's.
Okay.
And I mean, I think that we would just kind of hang out. We would
Yep.
probably leave out milk and cookies for you, which I hope
Mm-hmm.
that you got.
Absolutely,
And
and they were delicious. I thank you for that.
yes, of course. And one real tradition that we had was that we were able to open one Christmas gift on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And of course that was like, the we were salivating over everything. So that was just like giving us a little
Little
taste of
taste.
what was to come. Yeah.
And did mom pick out that present, or did you guys get to pick out which
I
one you
think we
opened?
sort of negotiated.
Okay, that's fair.
We were like, oh, what about that one? And of course, she would, we'd probably choose like the biggest one, and she would say, no way. And then, she would be like, well, what about this one?
Okay.
Okay. I
Okay,
mean, we
very
were happy
good.
to get any gift, really.
Okay. And then Christmas morning, did you have to wait for folks to get their coffee or their juice or breakfast, or did you get to go down right away and just start tearing into everything and stockings
No,
and
well, I mean, I think that a rule was probably set after
yeah,
I, ruined Christmas that one year.
good point.
But, generally, my mom would want to be present to see us open the gifts, and my mom always has slept in late. So my sister and I would get up early, of
Okay.
course, because the anticipation of Christmas is
Right.
just like for kids,
Right.
we're always so excited. And so we would invariably have had enough by probably 9 a.m., I would guess,
Okay.
and go in and wake our
Wake her
mom
up.
and drag her out of bed and say, okay, come on, let's do this.
There you go. That's
Mhm.
yeah. It's funny because there's some parents that will get up at the crack of dawn and actually be ready for their kids to come open the presents, and others that will
Mhm.
sleep in. We've talked to somebody that they would have to wait till after breakfast, and that was about 11 o'clock before they could
Oh,
open
that's
presents. And,
torture.
oh, so painful. I don't know why parents do that to them,
Those
but
parents were on the naughty list for sure, Emma.
they were on the trying to teach patients the hard way list. That's for
Okay,
sure.
okay. That
So
I understand. Point taken, Santa.
no, and what about stockings? Did you do
So
stockings first? Was
stockings were
that a rule?
first.
Okay. All right.
Yep, and that's still a tradition in my house. Stockings were first, and you always left such fun little things in there for us, and it was always such a joy to just like, because that was the thing. I mean, of course, we would have to wait for our mom
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
but as soon as she would come downstairs, we would run and get the stockings and just open them up and find all the candy
Yep.
and fun little toys and things. And
Good.
I think that it was funny, Santa, that for a while, and now it's become a tradition still, that you would leave us like Scotch tape and Post-it notes,
You
as
need
though
those
you went as
things.
though you went to Staples at the last minute
Well, you
to
need those
go to
things.
go get our stuff. Yeah, for
Exactly. It,
sure.
it seems that way, but
Yep.
it's the stockings are fun but also useful things. We've given a lot of socks out over the
100%.
years in the stockings, a good pair of
Yep.
socks. underwear, kind of the important things, but then also some candy and some other fun little things. We try
As
to.
long as we didn't get coal in it, then
No,
it's fine.
that's the important thing. There's very few people that actually get coal, so that's the
Yes.
important thing. Okay, then you rip open to the presents, and then
Hmm.
let me ask you this: any presents over the years kind of stand out, and they don't necessarily have to be from me, but anything that you
Hmm.
remember, like, wow, this was one of those really special items that you got for Christmas that sticks out to
Yeah, I
you.
mean, the one that really stands out in my mind. I mean, I'm sure I got a lot of great gifts over the years, but I think the one that I was really, really excited about was Sony had a line, probably in like the early '90s,
Okay,
of like my first instruments,
okay.
and they were red, I believe. And so I got a keyboard, and
Ooh,
like it had all the different um, settings that you could
nice.
make different
Yep,
music and whatever. And I just was so excited about that,
that's
and
awesome.
that was a great gift.
So did that lead to piano and keyboard lessons, or it was just a fun Christmas present?
No, it
Okay.
was it was just a fun thing for me to play with.
So
I
okay.
I love music. I'm not so good at making it.
Okay, very good. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's talk about Christmas cookies. Did
Okay.
you have a favorite? I mean, they were always delicious from what I remember.
Hmm.
Did you have a favorite cookie of your own that you felt like you had to leave out? And did you help make them? And currently, do you have a favorite Christmas cookie?
So, as far as the cookies that we would leave out, I think that we would probably go for just the regular Nestle Toll House
Yep.
tube, which of course I enjoyed eating
Oh,
the
absolutely.
dough more than the actual cookie.
Yep.
Um, but my stepmom has, for my entire life, made Christmas cookies,
Okay.
and so these were always cookies that we would enjoy after Christmas morning. So I don't know if they would be left out for you. You'll have to tell
That's
me.
okay. Nope.
But she would make these peanut butter cookies that had like the mini Reese's peanut butter cups
Yep.
like stuck in.
Ooh, those
I
sound
still,
good.
I would eat a whole two
Nice.
handfuls of those right now if I had them.
Nice. Do you have the recipe?
She does, and in fact, I don't know. My little sister has celiac disease, and
Okay.
so she doesn't do that much baking anymore that isn't gluten free.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so I have to see if she has a gluten free recipe, but I'm sure
Okay.
that she has like the regular
Well, I
recipe
was going to say, if you
still.
just happen to come across the recipe, there's nothing like a peanut butter type cookie that Santa enjoys more on Christmas Eve. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, no pressure though,
Oh
Ellen.
yeah. Well, then maybe, I mean, if you enjoy such a thing, then maybe we'll have to make them and leave them out for you this year.
No pressure. I will take any cookie. I love a good Toll House chocolate chip cookie as well.
Great.
So no pressure whatsoever. I'm just saying, if you happen to stumble across making them, I wouldn't say no to a good peanut butter cookie with peanut butter cups. So
I got you, Santa.
good, 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 good. Let's talk decorations. So growing up, was decorating a big deal? Did you do it after Thanksgiving? Were you a pre-Thanksgiving decorator? Tell me a little bit about your growing up decorating.
So I would say in my house, things always got done at the last minute.
Okay.
So it wasn't like the type of thing where, we had like a hard and fast rule about, no doing it before Thanksgiving or
Yeah.
no doing it, like until December or anything like that. I think we just kind of got to it when we got to it. Um, and, there was a lot of tinsel involved
Oh,
back in the
good.
80s.
Yep.
Our tree has always had a bunch of tinsel, which I think sort of left a bad taste in my mouth as an adult because my cats would always eat it and then puke it
Oh
up.
my goodness, yes.
So, in my mind, tinsel's like, ugh,
Okay.
probably not, like not into the tinsel
I,
anymore.
I just made
But
a note about that to make sure that
okay,
I don't
thank you.
cover any
Yeah,
presents in
appreciate that.
tinsel
Yep.
this year for you. So,
No tinsel. But yeah, I mean, I remember our trees always had those like classic big bulbs,
yep.
the
Yep.
colored bulbs.
Absolutely.
Um, and we would have like some of the little ones too, but
Good.
there were always like favorite ornaments and things, and which of course I don't even remember what they are now, but and at my dad's house, my stepmom has still, and been collecting for her whole life
Sure.
probably, and
Sure.
mine, all of these really amazing ornate ornaments. And and their tree always looked a lot different. It was
Okay.
like ours was very haphazard, and like kids putting it together with tinsel everywhere, and
Yeah.
throwing it up at the last minute. But at my dad's house, their tree is very pristine and beautiful, and something that belongs in like a storefront window.
Okay. All right. Very
um,
good.
but always beautifully decorated. And Christmas trees, they always just like have an allure no matter what they look like.
They do, and I love, there's a number of families that when I go to their house, they'll actually have a kids tree and then the kind of grown up tree, and
Right.
they're all put together with love, and if
Hmm.
people enjoy how they look, it doesn't matter what they look like. I mean,
Yeah,
look at Charlie
absolutely.
Brown's Christmas, that
Right.
that little
Exactly.
tree that suddenly was the most beautiful tree you've ever seen. But let's talk if we could about Christmas movies now.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Christmas Vacation again? Do you watch it every year?
Yeah, I do, of course. I mean,
Okay.
it's a tradition in my family as well. We all know all the lines, and both in my immediate family and in the family that I have made as an
Mm-hmm.
adult. Um, and it's there are a lot of different Christmas movies that that we aim to watch every season.
Okay.
Whether we get to all of them or not is a different story, but Christmas Vacation is definitely one of them.
Good. Good.
But my favorite of all
Yes,
time is A
please.
Christmas Story.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's my
right.
favorite. It always has been. It's just spoken to me. And and it predates Christmas Vacation too, so
Right,
I've been
right,
watching
right.
it for longer,
Okay.
you know. But it just is perfect. There's no notes at all about that
That's
movie.
awesome.
It is done so impeccably. And I think it also sort of holds a place in my heart too, because my mom grew up in the Cleveland area, and
Okay.
so I remember from the time I was young, her saying, oh, this is like how my Christmases were, and
That's neat.
like this is how it looked like where I grew up, and
Yeah.
and all these things. And I think a lot of the movie was filmed in the Cleveland area, so I guess I kind of felt a draw to it because of that as well. But it just, yeah, A Christmas Story is my personal favorite.
Now, have you ever made a pilgrimage to the house, the actual house that's in?
No, but I
Okay.
have friends that went there last summer.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it's amazing because from the photos that I've seen, it looks exactly the same. Like they've kept it
Right.
intact with a lot of the, like, the leg lamp is in the
Yep.
window and everything. And no, I've not made it
Okay.
there. That's not really my
I
bag,
got you.
to do that sort of
Sure,
thing. But
sure,
I
sure.
can appreciate to the fullest extent that it still
There you
exists.
go. Absolutely. Now, I think they made a second one with Ralphie all grown up. Have
Yep,
you
they
seen
did,
that?
and I
Is it
think it
any
took place
good?
in the 70s.
Yeah.
When it came out, my husband and I attempted to give it a watch, and
Yeah.
I could
Just
not get
because you
through
like the
it.
original. The original is what
Yeah,
works for
and
you.
I'm like a purist in that way.
Okay. Okay.
Like I don't, and I get it. I should give it another go.
Well,
Um,
if it's all a matter of taste, and
mhm,
you don't want to taint the original, and then think badly about that, seeing Ralphie all grown up in the 70s. So I think
absolutely.
stick by your guns. Stick by your guns and
Thanks,
stick with the
Santa.
absolutely,
I needed that. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Any other movies that kind of stand out to you that are must watches every year, regardless of you make the time for them,
Yeah.
or TV shows, like the old Rudolph shows and things like that. But
So we definitely do those. But the other most favorite of mine, that is a must watch. I absolutely adore it. Is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
oh my goodness, you are my first guest to bring that up.
Really?
Oh my goodness, what a
Oh
wonderful Jim
God.
Henson movie that was.
Mm-hmm.
So well
It's
done, and the
it's my I'm like
singing
getting
and
goosebumps just thinking about it.
oh, that's good choice. A lot of people that
Thank
is
you.
seriously the most underrated Christmas movie I think that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats to you for picking that. That is wonderful.
Thanks, Santa. Am
Oh
I
my
gonna get an
goodness.
extra gift under the
I
tree
we
because of
might have to leave something for you a little extra. But
that? Thank you.
yeah, wonderful, wonderful choice. And
Yep.
what was it? A gang of led by a snake, or
It's
no? What was it that led the?
the river bottom
Yes,
nightmare
yes.
the night yeah, so the river bottom gang, and then the band that they have is the river bottom nightmare band,
Yes, that's right.
and they've got the snake and the
The
tank in the
snake.
back of the
Yep,
car.
that's what
Yep.
I thought. Okay, I may have to dig that out and show that to the elves. We haven't watched that at the North Pole in years, but I think
it's
I'm gonna have to
uh
find that.
it's streaming on Peacock, I believe,
Okay, good.
last I looked. But yeah, I mean, it's around. You can
Good to
definitely find
know.
it.
Good to know. Wonderful choice. Really
Thank you.
appreciate that. Wonderful choice. So, how about music? Are you a music buff at all? I know you didn't play the keyboard after getting the toy keyboard, but are you into Christmas music at all? And
um I've been so like bah humbug about Christmas music
okay,
for most of my adult life, but now that I have a kid, I'm kind of warming to it.
okay,
But that's not to say, or I should say, I'm a huge fan of like 80s Christmas music.
Oh,
So
wow.
like the
So,
waitresses
yeah.
and sorry, Santa got run over by a
Yeah,
reindeer, and
that's okay. That's
it's
okay.
it's all tongue in cheek. I mean, obviously you
Yeah.
didn't, or if you did, you lived to tell the tale. But
Now, what about
you know,
Wham or George Michael? They did a whole
oh
big
yeah,
Christmas thing, right?
totally.
Okay.
Last Christmas,
Yes,
yeah,
and they made a movie
100%.
about that starring Amelia Clark. Uh,
Really?
it was all based on his Christmas music.
Oh,
We
that's
saw that a few
funny.
years ago. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
there's like a thing online that I've seen over the years
okay.
where there's like a challenge, right? Where you have to try once it's the Christmas season officially, you have to try to go as long as you can without hearing that song.
Oh my goodness, I've never heard that. I've got to look
Yeah,
that up.
it's like the last Christmas challenge or whatever. You know, they always have all these challenges, but you have to like organically. You can't
Okay,
obviously like go around trying not to listen, but because it plays everywhere. It's in the
it
car,
does.
it's in the stores, it's
I think
at
between
work or
Mariah Carey
whatever.
and that song, they're the two most probably played Christmas songs
I would
out
say
there.
of the modern era, or like
Exactly.
the not classic era.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
So you're a mom now. You've got a little daughter. How are you
Hmm.
approaching Christmas with her? Now she's only two and a half, I think you said?
Yes.
So she doesn't quite get it just yet, I would assume. But are there any
Not yet.
traditions you're going to try to kind of bring into your life with her, or anything from when you were a child that you want to make sure she obviously, as she gets older, you're going to have to tell her the story about opening all the presents.
Right. Yeah, I don't
But
want to encourage her at all.
yeah, but
Um,
anything, whether it's movies or food or just decorating, anything you've been thinking about as she starts to get older and starts to understand Christmas a little bit more.
yeah, I mean, I think that I would like to continue some of the traditions that I had, as that we talked about, like
Sure.
the one gift on
Yep.
Christmas Eve.
Yep.
Although my husband is sort of anti that. He doesn't
Is
want to
he?
open anything before Christmas. He's like a
Oh my
purist in
goodness.
that way.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm gonna have to kind of lighten him up a little bit to that one.
Let me know if you need to make
Um,
a call, because it's you can
Thank you.
you
I
know when this
appreciate it,
broadcasts, what's your husband's name?
Ed.
Ed. It's okay to open one present on Christmas Eve. Okay? It's okay. You still are on the nice list if you do. All right?
From Santa's mouth to your
Absolutely. I
ears.
hope that helps, Ellen. So,
Thank you. No, for sure. So definitely want to kind of institute that, and the she will have to wait for us to get up, but I think that we're both amenable to getting up earlier than later, to make sure that she doesn't have to be tortured. And
sure.
my husband will probably have to have his coffee. I don't drink coffee, so
Okay.
I'll be wanting to open the presents too.
There you go.
But definitely doing the stockings first. And there is a tradition that my husband and I have started in the last couple of years. So I have two stepdaughters as well.
Okay.
They live with their mom. They visit us on weekends,
Nice.
but they spend Christmas Eve at their mom's, and then they come to our place Christmas Day. And I came up with an idea. The ornaments that we had were sort of lacking
Okay.
in character and whatever. And I said, what we should do is we should every year buy everybody an ornament, and then they can go and take one of the old ornaments that are like not
Right.
anything special, and replace them
Okay.
with the new
Nice.
ones. So
Nice.
then every year there will be
Yeah.
four or now five more cool ornaments. And so that's been great. And now just in the last like 2-3 years, we have amassed like a decent amount of really awesome ornaments.
That's great.
And so that's something that I want to continue. And as my daughter gets older, she will be able to appreciate that more.
Good.
And then we'll have all these awesome ornaments.
That's a lovely tradition. I love that.
Thank
You're
you.
you're building your own traditions and making
Hmm.
it special for everybody involved, and I think that's fantastic. So,
Thank you.
absolutely. So, last question for you. Tell me what you're doing. You're getting back into acting. You're getting back into that career. What do you have going on? Please tell us so we can all go out and see it as soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you. So I in the spring took part in sort of additional scenes for the director's cut of a horror film that was already out,
Okay.
called The Forest Hills.
Okay.
And it's going to be a while till that new version is seen, because the current one is still
Okay.
being distributed and everything. But that was like the first thing that I did to kind of get my feet wet. And then around the holidays, either December or January, I'm going to be filming a movie here in the Lehigh Valley,
Nice.
by a local writer director by the name of Jared Haas.
Okay,
Um,
wonderful.
Yep. And then, there are just like, there are a couple other things that are starting to come up, and auditioning again and just sort of organically getting back into it.
That's
And I'm
fantastic.
thrilled.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Can you give us any hint about what's going to be filmed in the Lehigh Valley, or you're not allowed to kind of disclose that
Yeah,
just yet?
it's a movie called The Retailer, although the title of that may change.
Okay.
Um, and it's sort of a thriller about a woman who kind of has a mental breakdown and works in the food service industry,
Oh
and
wow.
kind of goes a little postal.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yep.
Oof.
But
I may have to
yeah,
make sure I hold Mrs. Claus's hand if we watch that when that one
yeah, for
comes out.
sure. You'll have to kind of watch like this.
Yeah, we get a little scared at some movies, but we know they're
Hmm.
just movies. But the Mrs. Claus takes good care of me. So
Oh, I'm sure that she does. And yeah, and other than that, I'm gonna have some appearances happening in December, in New Jersey, and
nice.
also, I believe at Arts Quest on December 21st in Bethlehem.
Very cool.
They're gonna
Okay.
be doing a screening of Christmas Vacation that I will be present for.
That is so fun. So
Yep.
is there anywhere that fans can go and kind of see where you're going to be that you want us to make sure we
Um,
share out or
there's check out my social media.
okay,
The best place to catch me is on Instagram. My
okay,
handle is at Ellen Latzen.
great.
And, I'm constantly kind of whenever anything is sort of on the horizon, then I will put it up there. So that's usually a good place to check out.
Absolutely. Well, we'll make sure that everyone at the North Pole follows you and
Thanks,
that's
Santa.
great to hear and that's exciting that you're going to be in Bethlehem for a screening of that. How fun
Yeah.
is that going to be?
If
So
you want to show up, I'm sure everybody would be delighted.
I'd love to, but it's so close to Christmas. It might be a little
It's
hard
true.
to.
It's
I
true.
think I'd have some angry elves at the North Pole
Yeah, and I mean, and
if
the
I did
North
that.
Pole is kind of far from
Yeah,
Bethlehem,
we can get
so
here pretty quick though. We can get down to the Pennsylvania pretty quickly.
I
The
imagine.
reindeer have some speed to them. So, but Ellen, last question: Christmas wishes for this year. Do you have anything that you're specifically wishing people, your family, your friends, the world? This is your opportunity to kind of put that out there in the air.
Well, thank you, and it's nice to have a direct line to you to ask such things.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's such tumult in the world right now. One of my wishes is for things to, for people to just, it's hard to kind of put it into words.
Hmm.
But if we can all just figure out a way to come to terms with one another and to accept one another and to have love in our hearts and not hate, and I mean, peace on earth, and that's such like an antiquated notion, but it's true. I feel that way.
Yep. Good.
So if you could work on that, um
I'll do the best
that's
I
that's
can.
my yeah, I know. Appreciate it. That's my wish for the world. um and for me, I'd love to just get a weekend, or a few days away alone with my husband. That's all I want for Christmas.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you feel about Santa babysitting, but
Well, that's fine.
I'm available
If you
January
can,
2nd. So,
listen, it doesn't have to be on Christmas.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. So, yeah, Santa's a good babysitter. So, we'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
But
I can put her in a snowsuit and send
there
her
we
up to the North
go.
Pole, and
Oh, we'll have fun.
maybe, and you know what, that would be awesome because we've been wanting to go to Iceland. So we can go drop
Nice.
her off with you,
Yep.
and then we'll go to Iceland and check out the Northern
And
Lights and
she's probably
everything.
the size of most of the elves, so she'll feel
There you go.
pretty
Great.
comfortable, I
You can
think.
put her to work too.
Well, we'll have some fun with her. Well, maybe we'll make cookies with Mrs. Claus. I think that would be
There you
fun.
go.
So, Ellen Latson, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and we appreciate what you've done movie wise. We look forward to seeing what you're going to continue to do, and enjoy your family. Merry Christmas to you and your entire family, and thank you again for being here. And I think we're gonna have to queue up Christmas Vacation pretty soon and see the Ruby Sue version of you. So
Yes, please. And thank you so much, Santa. It is such a pleasure to speak with you and to be in your awesome presence. And thanks for doing what you do. And thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
no, I appreciate it. Thank you again. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, Ellen, to you and your family.
Happy holidays to everybody.
You
Thank you
too.
so
Take care.
much.
Bye bye. Oh, everybody, what a great guest Ellen Latzen was. I'm gonna run right back to the house and cue up Christmas Vacation and watch her as little Ruby Sue. So this week, what I want to do is, we get questions about the reindeer all the time, but what people don't hear about is behind the scenes with the reindeer. And so this week, I want to highlight two amazing elves. So it's the brother and sister team of Tick and Tack. Now, Tick and Tack really have one of the more important jobs at the North Pole. They take care of the reindeer. Okay, they are children of farmers, and Tick and Tack were around animals their entire lives. During their free time, they studied reindeer, and eventually I chose them to be head of the reindeer department. So from feeding them to working on their takeoffs and landings, they're around the reindeer every day, and some of them are their best friends. Tick and Tack's favorite food is warm apple pie covered with whipped cream. But again, Santa couldn't fly around the world without Tick and Tack's work with the reindeer. So thank you, Tick and Tack. Also, as we talked about in our last episode, we're doing a little concert. Oh, my goodness, Santa needs a break. We are doing a little contest sponsored by Dear Santa, the Christmas shop in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So what we want people to do is take a picture of their favorite Christmas ornament or piece of memorabilia or statue or display. Send it to Dear Santa's email, which is historicdearsanta@gmail.com, and we will pick a winner to give somebody a $25 gift card to the Dear Santa store at 458 Main Street in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So send that to historicdearsanta.com. Give a little description why it's so special to you, what it means to you, and then we'll pick a winner again for this week. So thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas. I wish you all the best, and take care. Ho, 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 ho.